Massive stones, shaped with impossible precision, stand silent across our planet. These megalithic sites are ancient engineering puzzles that science still struggles to solve. By the end of our journey, you will understand the 20 most baffling lost structures and the profound questions they raise about human history. How did our ancestors move blocks weighing hundreds of tons without modern machinery? And what forgotten knowledge did they encode in stone and star alignment? What does it truly mean to build something that lasts for millennia? These structures are not just piles of rock. They are feats of engineering so advanced, they challenge our entire understanding of ancient technology. To truly grasp the mystery, we need to define megalithic engineering. This is the art of moving and shaping colossal stones, many weighing more than 50 tons, and fitting them together with a precision that rivals modern machinery. Think of it not as simple construction, but as a complex discipline that blended an intimate knowledge of physics, mathematics, and the very land itself. Ancient builders did not have cranes or lasers. They had ingenuity, an incredible understanding of leverage and weight distribution, and a patience that seems almost foreign to us today. They quarried these gigantic blocks, transported them across miles of difficult terrain, and then lifted them into place, often achieving joins between stones so tight you cannot slide a piece of paper between them. Beyond the physical act of building, these sites are frequently aligned with celestial events. The rising sun on a solstice might illuminate a specific inner chamber, or a corridor could point directly to a significant star. Archaeologists like Colin Renfrew suggest this reflects a world deeply intertwined with the cosmos. These were not just tombs or temples, they were calendars, observatories, and profound statements about humanity's place in the universe. This foundational knowledge transforms a silent ruin into a testament of lost genius. It allows us to see the invisible calculations, the generations of effort, and the sophisticated mind behind the monument. Understanding these principles is the key that unlocks the first, and perhaps one of the most iconic of these enigmatic sites. Nestled in the rolling hills of southeastern Turkey, a site known as Göbekli Tepe silently rewrites the first chapter of human civilization. This is not merely an old structure, it is a complex of massive T-shaped limestone pillars arranged in great stone circles, and it was built over 11,000 years ago. To grasp that timescale, consider that Göbekli Tepe was already ancient by the time the first stones of the Egyptian pyramids were laid. It stands as a profound anomaly, a cathedral built by hunter-gatherers. The pillars themselves are colossal, some weighing over 15 tons, and they are covered in finely carved reliefs of animals, from foxes and cranes to fearsome predators. The sheer artistry and labor involved are staggering for a people we once believed were solely focused on survival. Archaeologist Klaus Schmidt, who led excavations here, called it a cathedral on a hill, a place that likely served as a central ritual space for nomadic groups. The mystery deepens when we ask how. These builders had no wheels, no metal tools, and no domesticated animals to help with heavy lifting. Yet, they quarried these gigantic blocks from local bedrock, transported them for hundreds of meters, and erected them with a precision that defines the circles. What could have inspired such a unified, monumental effort? One compelling theory suggests that the very act of building this ritual center, of gathering large groups for its construction and maintenance, may have been the catalyst that spurred humanity toward agriculture and settled life. It was not farming that created society, perhaps, but society that invented farming to feed its builders. Göbekli Tepe forces us to confront a humbling possibility that our timeline of progress is fundamentally flawed, and that the seeds of complex culture were sown far earlier and in a far more sophisticated way than we ever imagined. This theme of inexplicable ambition echoes at another site, where the stones themselves seem to defy the very laws of physics. High in the Bolivian highlands, at an altitude that steals the breath, lies a field of shattered stone that defies all conventional logic. Pumapunku is not a towering pyramid or a grand temple, but its ruins are perhaps even more baffling. The ground is littered with massive stone blocks, each one a masterpiece of precision engineering. These are not rough-hewn rocks. They are intricately shaped pieces of andesite and granite, some of the hardest stones on the planet, yet they have been cut with surfaces so smooth they feel like glass. The edges are razor-sharp, forming perfect right angles and complex geometric channels that interlock with one another like pieces of a grand stone puzzle. The joins are so tight, so flawless, that not even the thinnest blade can be inserted between them. How could a culture from around 500 AD, using only stone hammers and copper tools, achieve a level of precision that would be challenging even with modern diamond-tipped saws? Some of these blocks feature perfectly straight grooves and boreholes that run with machine-like consistency, suggesting the use of tools or techniques we have yet to comprehend. Researchers like Arthur Posnansky studied the site for decades, marveling at the astronomical alignments encoded in its layout and the sheer logistical nightmare of transporting these colossal stones across 50 miles of mountainous terrain. The mainstream view attributes this feat to the incredible ingenuity of the Tiwanaku culture. Yet, the perfection on display has led to endless speculation about lost technologies or knowledge that has since vanished from human history. Why invest such unimaginable effort into a level of precision that seems almost unnecessary? Was it purely for structural integrity, or did this flawless craftsmanship hold a deeper, perhaps spiritual significance, a way to mirror the perfect order of the cosmos here on Earth? Pumapunku stands as a silent, stone argument against the limits we place on the ancient world. It forces us to ask not just how they built it, but what they knew that we have since forgotten. This theme of forgotten genius echoes across the ocean, where another civilization carved its legacy directly into a mountainside with a sophistication that is equally difficult to explain. Across the sea in France, a different kind of mystery stands in silent, regimented rows. The Karnak alignments are a breathtaking spectacle of scale, a landscape transformed by human hands. Thousands of individual standing stones stretch for kilometers across the Breton countryside, arranged with a geometric precision that feels both orderly and utterly alien. These are not random boulders. They form long, parallel lines that march across the earth, an army of granite sentinels erected over 6,000 years ago, long before Stonehenge or the Great Pyramid. Some of these megaliths tower overhead, weighing as much as 50 tons. The sheer number is what first overwhelms the senses. To stand before them is to witness a project of almost unimaginable scope, one that would have required the coordinated labor of generations. How did a society from 4500 BC manage the logistics of quarrying, transporting, and erecting such a vast army of stone? Researchers like Aubrey Burle have pointed to the stone's celestial connections. The alignments are not random. Many rows are precisely oriented to the rising and setting sun on the solstices, and some may even track the complex cycles of the moon. This was likely more than a calendar. It may have been a colossal cosmic map drawn in stone upon the land itself, connecting the people to the rhythms of the heavens. The purpose, however, remains one of archaeology's great debates. Were these processional pathways for sacred ceremonies, guiding participants on a spiritual journey? Or were they powerful territorial markers, declaring a clan's dominion over the land in the most permanent way possible? Local legend offers a more poetic explanation, whispering that the stones are a Roman legion turned to rock by a mythical wizard, a story that captures the site's awe-inspiring and slightly unnerving presence. The true genius of Karnak lies not in any single, impossibly fitted block, but in the vision required to plan and execute such a vast, coherent design across the landscape. It speaks of a society with a shared purpose, advanced astronomical knowledge, and an organizational ability that we are only beginning to comprehend. This mastery of moving earth and stone on a grand scale finds a parallel in a land far to the east, where an entire mountain was reshaped into a pyramid. Far out in the Pacific Ocean, a city of stone seems to float upon the water. Nan Madol, a labyrinth of over 100 artificial islands built atop a coral reef, stands as a monument to an almost impossible ambition. This was the ceremonial heart of the Sordalor dynasty, a place of immense power and mystery constructed between 1200 and 1500 AD. The entire complex is a web of canals and structures fashioned from colossal basalt logs, each one a prismatic column weighing many tons. These logs were stacked like firewood, cross-hatched to form stable foundations, and fitted together without a single drop of mortar. The result is a city on the sea, a Venice of the Pacific built with a sophistication that defies its remote location. How do you build a city in the ocean without modern machinery? The basalt columns were quarried from the other side of the island, a monumental task in itself, and then transported across miles of open water on rafts. Archaeologists like Rufino Mauricio point to the staggering logistics of moving these multi-ton stones and assembling them into stable platforms in a dynamic, tidal environment. The builders possessed a profound understanding of hydroengineering, designing canals that allowed tidal flows to flush out the complex and prevent stagnation. This was not just construction, it was a dialogue with the ocean itself. Local oral histories speak of twin sorcerers who used magical powers to levitate the stones into place, a poetic acknowledgement that the methods of its creation were so advanced they seemed supernatural to later generations. What drove this immense effort? Nan Madol was more than a royal city. It was a physical manifestation of power, a place designed to separate the ruling elite from the common people and to control the spiritual and political life of the society. Its very existence in such a challenging environment speaks to a drive to create something permanent, something that would withstand the waves and the centuries. This aquatic marvel, born from volcanic rock and human will, demonstrates a unique form of megalithic genius, one that conquered the sea to build a legacy of stone. Deep beneath the sands of Abydos, a place revered as one of ancient Egypt's most sacred sites, lies a structure that seems to defy its own timeline. The Osirian is a subterranean sanctuary, a stark contrast to the ornate temples above. Built from colossal blocks of red granite, each one weighing many tons, its architecture is brutally simple and massively powerful. The style is cyclopean, a term for masonry built with enormous, minimally worked stones, and it feels strangely out of place. While officially attributed to the New Kingdom pharaoh Seti I, its construction bears a much stronger resemblance to the far older, megalithic techniques seen at sites like the Valley Temple at Giza. This creates a haunting architectural anachronism, as if a much older, forgotten hand guided its creation. The chamber is often partially flooded, with groundwater reflecting the massive pillars and creating a perpetual, dark mirror. This water is not an accident, it is central to the site's purpose. The Osirian is dedicated to Osiris, the god of the afterlife, resurrection, and the fertile Nile flood. The chamber was likely designed to be submerged, symbolizing the primordial waters of creation from which life emerged and to which the soul returns. Egyptologist Margaret Murray, who excavated the site in the early 20th century, interpreted it as a symbolic tomb for the god himself, a place where his myth of death and rebirth was ritually reenacted. Yet the Osirian is silent. Its walls are bare of the hieroglyphs and detailed carvings that cover every other surface in Abydos. This profound lack of inscription is deafening. Who were the true builders, and why did they leave no record of their identity or their king? The precision of the stonework is another enigma. The blocks are fitted together with joints so tight they seem fused, a technique that requires incredible skill and patience. How was this level of precision achieved in a chamber that was either under construction or perpetually filled with water? The logistics of maneuvering such heavy, water-slicked stones into perfect alignment underground are difficult to fathom. This leads to a compelling debate. Is the Osirian a new kingdom masterpiece built in a deliberately archaic style to evoke a sense of ancient power? Or is it genuinely a relic from a much earlier, advanced period of Egyptian history, one that we have yet to fully uncover? Its submerged stones hold the secret to a lost chapter in engineering, a puzzle that connects to another civilization that also mastered the art of moving mountains of stone. The sheer scale of the Gigantoja temples on the Maltese Islands seems to defy the very people who built them. Rising from the earth around 3600 BC, these are among the oldest free-standing structures in the entire world, their very name Gigantoja meaning giant's tower in Maltese. Local folklore insisted that a race of giants constructed these temples, carrying the massive limestone blocks on their shoulders while eating bowls of honey and beans. This poetic legend was born from a simple, baffling observation. How could a people without metal tools, without the wheel, have possibly quarried, transported, and erected stones weighing over 50 tons? The outer walls are built with colossal, roughly shaped boulders, some over 5 meters long, creating a formidable shell that has weathered millennia. Step inside, however, and you find a different world of sophistication. The builders used a technique called corbelling, carefully stacking stones in ever-decreasing circles to create domed ceilings, a revolutionary architectural idea for its time. The walls were once adorned with intricate spiral carvings and animal reliefs, hints of a rich symbolic language and a complex spiritual life. Archaeologist John Evans dedicated years to unraveling this puzzle, noting that the temple's main axes are precisely aligned to catch the rising sun on the equinoxes, flooding the inner chambers with light. This was not random, it was a deliberate calibration of stone and sky. The limestone itself was dragged from quarries kilometers away, an undertaking that would have required the coordinated effort of an entire community for generations. Why pour such immense resources into these structures? They were likely the vibrant heart of a matriarchal society, with numerous statues of full-bodied female figures, often called fat ladies, suggesting a powerful cult of a mother goddess or a deity of fertility. The temples were probably centers for seasonal rituals, community gatherings, and offerings to ensure abundance and continuity. The true mystery of Gigantoja is not just the how, but the why. What profound belief system could inspire such a sustained, monumental effort, creating a legacy of stone that would outlast the civilization that built it, only to be abandoned and forgotten for thousands of years? This profound sense of a lost spiritual world connects to another island mystery, where the stones themselves seem to hold a silent, sonic secret. Beneath the clear, blue waters off Japan's Yonaguni Island lies a formation that blurs the line between geology and architecture. The Yonaguni Monument is a massive, terraced structure that rises from the seafloor, its stark, flat surfaces and sharp angles appearing unnaturally precise. To some, it looks like a sunken ziggurat, a grand plaza with steps and platforms carved for a purpose lost to time. Marine geologist Masaki Kimura has spent decades studying the site, pointing to features that seem far beyond natural chance, including what appear to be carved staircases, straight-walled tunnels, and even pillars. He argues this is the work of a sophisticated culture, a megalithic complex submerged when sea levels rose at the end of the last ice age, potentially making it over 10,000 years old. The sheer scale and regularity of the forms are what fuel this theory. Could these be the ruins of a lost civilization, a Pacific counterpart to other ancient wonders? Skeptics, however, offer a different explanation. They note that the sandstone in this region naturally fractures along straight plains and can be eroded by ocean currents into remarkably geometric shapes. The entire structure, they propose, could be a spectacular natural formation, a masterpiece of geology rather than human hands. The debate hinges on this very fine line. Are those perfect 90-degree angles and symmetrical terraces the result of intelligent design, or simply the mind's tendency to see patterns, a phenomenon known as pareidolia? The most significant challenge for those who argue for a human origin is the profound lack of any accompanying artifacts. No pottery shards, no stone tools, no signs of human habitation have been recovered from the immediate site. This absence makes verification incredibly difficult, yet the question remains. If it is natural, why does it feel so deliberately planned? And if it is man-made, what catastrophic event forced a culture advanced enough to shape such stone to abandon its work to the rising sea? The Yonaguni monument immerses us in a mystery where the evidence is literally submerged, a silent stone question mark on the ocean floor. It challenges our definitions of what is possible and reminds us that some of humanity's greatest stories may be hidden not in the earth but beneath the waves. This journey from the deep sea now takes us to a starkly different environment, where the next mystery is carved into the face of a towering, inaccessible cliff. High on a mountain plateau overlooking the ancient city of Cusco, a fortress of stone defies the very landscape it crowns. Sacsayhuaman is a marvel of megalithic engineering, its walls forming a series of zigzagging teeth built by the Inca Empire in the 15th century. These are not simple stacked stones, they are enormous blocks of limestone, some weighing more than 100 tons, each one a unique, irregular polygon that fits perfectly with its neighbors. The joins are so impossibly tight that for centuries the story has been that not even a razor blade can be inserted between them. This polygonal masonry, built without a single drop of mortar, creates a wall so resilient it has withstood centuries of earthquakes that have toppled modern constructions all around it. How could a culture without the wheel or iron tools achieve such a feat? The mainstream view, supported by archaeologists, is one of incredible patience and skill. Workers would have painstakingly pounded one stone against another, using harder hammerstones and sand abrasives to slowly grind and shape each block until it locked perfectly into place. It was a three-dimensional stone puzzle of unimaginable scale, a process that would have required generations of knowledge and labor. Yet the sheer perfection has fueled alternative theories. Some researchers have pointed to local plant compounds that might have been used to temporarily soften the stone surface, allowing for easier shaping. Others have wondered about the use of sound or vibrations, a lost technology that could have made the massive stones more malleable. The mystery only deepens when we consider the logistics. These colossal stones were quarried from sites miles away and then transported up and down the steep Andean terrain. The Inca had no draft animals, no pulleys, no carts. Historians believe they used networks of ropes, log rollers, and earthen ramps, mobilizing thousands of people to pull each block in a coordinated effort that must have been a spectacle of human will. Once at the site, the stones were lifted into position, likely using those same ramps and levers. The chronicler Garcilaso de la Vega, writing in the 16th century, described Sacsayhuaman as both a formidable fortress and a grand ceremonial center, a place where the Inca celebrated the sun and demonstrated their power. But what was the deeper meaning behind these zigzagging walls? For the Inca, the world was alive with spiritual force. The jagged, serrated design may have represented the teeth of a puma, a sacred animal, with the city of Cusco below forming the puma's body. It was a way of weaving their architecture into the sacred geography of the world, a permanent symbol of their connection to the natural and spiritual realms. Sacsayhuaman stands as a testament to what a highly organized society can achieve through communal effort and inherited wisdom. It forces us to reconsider the limits of human ingenuity, proving that a lack of advanced technology does not preclude advanced engineering. This legacy of shaping the land with profound purpose finds a haunting parallel in another part of the world, where an entire civilization chose to build its monuments underground. Emerging from the lush jungles of southern Mexico, a series of stone giants guard a lost world. The Olmec colossal heads are 17 monumental sculptures, each one carved from a single, massive block of volcanic basalt. These heads tower over the landscape, some standing nearly 10 feet tall and weighing as much as 50 tons. Their faces are strikingly individual, with full lips, broad noses, and stern expressions, suggesting they are powerful portraits of specific Olmec rulers or revered deities. Created between 1400 and 400 BC, they are the most recognizable legacy of Mesoamerica's first major civilization. The first of these giants was uncovered in the 1930s by archaeologist Matthew Stirling, whose work revealed that the Olmec were not a primitive culture but the mother civilization of the region, a society of profound complexity and skill. The mystery begins not with the carving but with the journey. The basalt for these heads was quarried from the Tuxtla Mountains, a rugged region dozens of miles away from where the sculptures were finally erected. The Olmec had no wheels, no metal tools, and no pack animals. How did they move a 50-ton boulder through dense jungle and across rivers? Researchers believe the answer lies in a combination of immense human labor and ingenious use of the environment. They likely transported the rough-hewn blocks on log rollers and rafts, leveraging river networks during the rainy season to float these gargantuan stones incredible distances. The logistical coordination required for such an undertaking speaks of a highly organized society, with leaders who could command the labor of thousands. Once at their destination, the real artistry began. Using only harder stone tools, Olmec sculptors transformed these rough boulders into faces of astonishing realism and emotional depth. The level of detail is breathtaking, from the intricate patterns on the helmet-like headgear each figure wears to the subtle differences in their features, capturing a sense of individual personality across millennia. Why did they invest such staggering effort into these portraits? The heads were likely placed at ceremonial centers like La Venta as permanent declarations of power and authority. They were constant, immovable reminders of a ruler's lineage and connection to the divine, watching over the community and its rituals. The sheer scale was meant to inspire awe and obedience. But the deeper question remains: what belief system was so powerful that it compelled an entire civilization to immortalize its leaders in such a permanent, formidable form? The Olmec heads are more than art, they are stone sovereignty, a testament to a society that mastered its environment to create a legacy that would stare unblinkingly into the future. Southern Spain holds a landscape of the dead that speaks across 5,000 years. The dolmens of Antequera are not simple stone piles but monumental tombs, with the Menga and Vieira dolmens standing as colossal examples of Neolithic ambition. Their construction is a marvel of brute force and delicate intention. Massive stone slabs, some weighing over 150 tons, form the walls and roof, capped with a single, breathtaking stone that defies belief. How did a people with only stone and wood tools quarry, transport, and lift such a weight? The orthostatic technique, using large, flat stones set vertically to create the chamber walls, was only the beginning. The true feat was sliding the gigantic capstone into its final position, a task that would have required the coordinated effort of an entire community, likely using log rollers, earthen ramps, and ropes made from plant fibers. But the genius of Antequera is not just in its engineering, it is in its profound connection to the world around it. The Menga dolmen is not aligned to a celestial event, but to a terrestrial one. Its central axis points directly at La Peña de los Enamorados, a singular mountain that rises from the plain, a natural monument that likely held deep spiritual significance. Researcher Leonardo Garcia San Juan suggests this was a deliberate choice, weaving the man-made structure into the sacred geography of the land. The smaller Vieira dolmen, by contrast, is precisely oriented to catch the first rays of the sunrise during the equinoxes, its long corridor acting as a light pipe to illuminate the inner chamber. This duality of earth and sky hints at a complex belief system where the ancestors were eternally connected to the cycles of nature. Inside these chambers, the atmosphere is heavy and still, yet research suggests the builders understood its acoustic properties. The very shape of the space and the placement of the stones may have been designed to amplify specific sounds or voices, turning rituals into immersive, resonant experiences. What ceremonies took place here? What beliefs about the journey after life compelled this immense collaborative effort? The dolmens were more than tombs, they were gateways. They were places where the community could commune with those who had passed, honoring their memory and reinforcing their own place within a cosmos that encompassed the familiar mountain and the distant sun. This deep, intentional link between architecture, landscape, and the heavens reveals a sophisticated worldview, one that we will see mirrored in a very different culture across the Atlantic Ocean. The foundation of the Roman temple at Baalbek rests upon three stones that defy all reason. Known as the trilithon, these limestone blocks form a foundation layer so immense that their very existence seems to challenge the laws of physics. Each one weighs approximately 800 tons, a staggering mass equivalent to two fully loaded jumbo jets. They were quarried from a site over a kilometer away, dragged across a valley, and then lifted with breathtaking precision to a height of 7 meters, fitting together so seamlessly they appear to be a single, continuous stone. The Romans built their grand temple complex upon this base, but the origins of the trilithon itself remain shrouded in mystery, predating the well-documented Roman engineering that followed. How do you move an 800-ton block of stone? Even with our modern cranes and hydraulic systems, the task would be a monumental challenge. The mainstream view credits Roman ingenuity, suggesting a colossal workforce using a system of ropes, rollers, and immense earthen ramps. The coordination and logistics would have been a spectacle of human organization, a testament to what a determined empire can achieve. Yet, the sheer scale of the operation has led other researchers, like author Graham Hancock, to propose a different possibility. Could this be the work of a much older, advanced civilization whose knowledge of leverage and weight distribution was later lost to time? The techniques required to not only transport but to precisely position these megaliths suggest a mastery of physics that feels almost supernatural. Why go to such extreme effort, using stones of this magnitude for a foundation? A part of the structure that would be largely hidden from view speaks to a purpose beyond mere stability. It may have been a deliberate display of power, an attempt to create a structure so permanently anchored to the earth that it would stand for eternity. Or perhaps for its original builders, the act of moving the mountain itself was a form of worship, a ritual of impossible strength dedicated to the gods. The Baalbek trilithon stands as a silent question carved in limestone, a peak of ancient engineering that steers our journey toward another architectural wonder hidden deep within the earth. Deep in the river deltas of Costa Rica, a different kind of megalithic mystery lies half buried in the earth. The stone spheres are not towering pillars or vast walls, but objects of impossible simplicity and perfection. Ranging in size from a small melon to colossal orbs over 2 meters in diameter and weighing up to 16 tons, these spheres were carved from solid blocks of gabbro and limestone by pre-Columbian peoples over 1,000 years ago. Their surfaces are so smoothly rounded, their curves so geometrically perfect that they seem to defy the era of their creation. How could artisans using only stone hammers and grinders achieve such flawless spherical precision without any known measuring devices? The process was one of immense patience, a technique called pecking and grinding where workers would systematically pound the surface with a harder stone and then smooth it with sand, a task that could have taken generations for a single large sphere. Archaeologist Samuel Lothrop, who studied them extensively in the 1940s, noted their frequent arrangement in geometric patterns, lines, and triangles, often aligned with celestial points. This suggests they were more than mere decorations. They might have been cosmic maps marking solstice sunrises or the movements of stars, or perhaps they were powerful social symbols, representing the authority of a chief or the unity of a clan, their perfect form echoing an ideal of cosmic order and social harmony. Many of the spheres were found positioned near the homes of elites or in key public spaces, their silent presence a constant reminder of the power structures that held society together. Tragically, many of these spheres were displaced by agricultural expansion in the 20th century, rolled away by machinery or even dynamited by treasure hunters, severing their original alignments and obscuring their true purpose forever. The haunting question remains, what profound belief or knowledge drove a society to invest generations of labor into creating perfect stone spheres? Their geometric mastery stands as a quiet, profound puzzle, a testament to a human desire to shape the chaos of nature into perfect, enduring forms. This ancient pursuit of celestial order finds a stunning parallel high in the Ethiopian mountains, where an entire church was carved not from blocks, but from the living rock itself. A beam of sunlight pierces an ancient darkness just once a year. In the heart of Ireland's Boyne Valley, the great mound of Newgrange has guarded this secret for over 5,000 years. This is not merely a tomb, it is a meticulously engineered clock of stone and earth, built around 3200 BC, making it older than both Stonehenge and the pyramids of Giza. The structure itself is a masterpiece of corbelling, with massive stones stacked in ever-narrowing circles to form a soaring, watertight roof that has not leaked in millennia. But the true genius of Newgrange lies in a single, slender feature above its entrance, a narrow opening known as a roof box. For just a few minutes at dawn on the winter solstice, and for several days before and after, a shaft of sunlight travels directly through this opening, creeping down the long, dark passage to dramatically illuminate the central chamber deep within the mound. This is no accident of architecture. It is a precise astronomical alignment, a feat that required generations of observation and a sophisticated understanding of the solar cycle. How did a Neolithic farming community achieve such a perfect calibration of stone and sky? The effort involved was staggering. The massive curbstones that ring the mound, some beautifully carved with intricate spirals and triple spirals, were transported from sources dozens of miles away. The brilliant white quartzite that facets its front was brought from even farther, a dazzling visual statement against the green Irish landscape. Archaeologist Michael J. O'Kelly, who led the site's modern reconstruction, interpreted the entire structure as a physical expression of a belief in rebirth. The dark tomb, symbolic of death, is annually brought back to life by the returning sun at the year's darkest point. The carvings themselves may represent this eternal cycle, with spirals symbolizing the journey of life, death, and regeneration. Imagine the profound rituals that might have taken place here. Who was permitted to stand in that sacred chamber to witness the sun's rebirth? What chants or ceremonies accompanied this cosmic event, confirming the community's connection to the powers that govern their world? The engineering to ensure this alignment lasted for millennia speaks of a profound dedication, a desire to encode a celestial truth into the very landscape. Newgrange stands as a silent testament to a society that looked to the heavens not in fear, but with a deep mathematical understanding, weaving the cycles of the cosmos into their most sacred spaces. This luminous mystery, born from stone and sunlight, guides our journey to another culture that carved its legacy directly into the heart of a mountain. Descend beneath the sun-baked islands of Malta, and you will find a world turned inside out. The hypogeum of Hal Saflieni is a sanctuary carved not from stone, but into the very living rock itself. Created over 5,000 years ago, this is a labyrinthine complex spanning 3 levels deep into the earth, a stunning feat of reverse engineering. Its halls and chambers are not random caves, but deliberate architectural spaces that meticulously mirror the above-ground megalithic temples found across Malta. You walk through carved doorways past corbelled ceilings and into alcoves that feel hauntingly familiar, as if the builders sought to recreate their sacred world in the underworld. This was no simple tomb. It was a bustling center of activity for centuries, a place of both final rest and powerful ritual. Discovered accidentally in 1902 by construction workers, its excavation by archaeologist Themistokles Zamet revealed the remains of thousands of individuals, a silent community gathered in the dark. The logistics of its creation are mind-bending. Workers carved this entire complex using only stone, bone, and wood tools, all while operating in pitch-black, cramped conditions. Every chip of limestone had to be hauled back to the surface, a relentless, multi-generational effort of excavation. But one of its most profound mysteries is not just what you see, but what you hear. The hypogeum possesses remarkable acoustic properties. Certain chambers, like the famous Oracle Room, are designed to amplify sound in specific ways. A deep voice spoken in one niche can resonate throughout the entire complex, creating an otherworldly vibration that feels both physical and spiritual. Researchers like Paolo De Bertollis have studied this phenomenon, suggesting it was used to enhance ceremonial chants or rituals, using sound to alter consciousness and connect with what the builders perceived as the spirit world. What profound belief system compelled a society to invest such immense effort into an architectural masterpiece meant to be hidden from the sun? The hypogeum represents a deep reverence for the earth itself, a belief that the greatest power and the final journey lay not in the sky, but in the silent, resonant heart of the ground. This mastery of carving the earth finds a dramatic contrast in our next site, where the stones do not hide in darkness, but stand proudly beneath the open sky, arranged with a purpose that continues to baffle all who see them. Their silent, monolithic gaze holds a question that has echoed across the Pacific for centuries. On the remote expanse of Easter Island, the moai stand as giants in profound isolation, hundreds of towering figures carved from compressed volcanic ash between 1250 and 1500 AD. These are not merely statues, they are colossal portraits, some reaching 33 feet high and weighing up to 82 tons, each one a stoic representation of a deified ancestor. The sheer scale of their creation is staggering, but it is the mystery of their journey that truly captivates. How did a society with limited resources move these multi-ton monoliths from the quarry at Raraku to ceremonial platforms called ahu, sometimes miles away across rugged terrain? The islanders themselves speak of the moai walking, a poetic legend that archaeologists like Terry Hunt have taken literally, testing a theory where teams used a complex system of ropes to rock the statues from side to side, creating the illusion of a slow, deliberate walk. Other experiments suggest sliding the massive figures on carefully crafted log rails or even rolling them. Yet, the exact method remains one of archaeology's great puzzles, a testament to a logistical genius we can only partially reconstruct. This monumental effort was driven by a powerful spiritual belief. The moai were not standalone monuments, they were placed upon ahu, which served as sacred ceremonial platforms and burial sites. They faced inland, their backs to the ocean, so their watchful eyes could oversee and protect the villages of their living descendants. This was a form of ancestor worship on a breathtaking scale, a society channeling its collective energy into honoring those who came before, believing their mana or spiritual power would bring prosperity and stability. But this very ambition may have sown the seeds of hardship. The construction process required immense resources, from timber for transport to food for the large, organized workforce. Researchers debate whether this monumental effort, combined with environmental changes, placed unsustainable pressure on the island's fragile ecosystem. The silent, toppled forms of many moai today speak to a period of profound societal change, a complex story of cultural evolution and environmental interaction. How did a community so isolated muster the unity and resources for such projects? And what lessons does their story hold about the balance between monumental ambition and environmental stewardship? The gaze of these island giants directs us to another mystery, where the stones themselves seem to capture the echo of a forgotten sound. The wind whispers across a Scottish isle, where 27 sentinels of stone stand guard in a perfect circle. The Ring of Brodgar is a Neolithic masterpiece carved into the Orkney landscape around 2500 BC, a geometric dream over 100 meters wide. Its surviving stones form a ring of such precise symmetry that it feels less like a random arrangement and more like a mathematical equation written upon the earth. How did a community from the Stone Age achieve this level of geometric perfection without modern tools? Historians like Aubrey Burl have pointed to the site as evidence of advanced surveying techniques, a deep understanding of circles and alignments that seems to defy the era. Each massive stone was dragged from quarries miles away, a testament to a shared purpose that mobilized an entire society. This was not an isolated monument, but the vibrant heart of a vast ritual landscape, surrounded by deep ditches, burial mounds, and other ceremonial sites. The true purpose of this grand circle is written in the sky above it. The ring is meticulously aligned with both the sun and the moon, marking the solstices and tracking the complex 18.6-year cycle of the lunar standstill. This was more than a calendar, it was a cosmic interface. Imagine the ceremonies that unfolded here under the long summer twilight or the deep winter darkness. Was it a gathering place for seasonal festivals where communities reaffirmed their bonds, or was it a sacred stage for rituals that connected the people directly to the powers of the cosmos? The sheer effort of its creation, the coordinated labor of quarrying, transporting, and erecting these megaliths, speaks to a belief system so powerful it could command the landscape itself. The Ring of Brodgar does not give up its secrets easily, standing in atmospheric silence as a monument to a lost worldview, one where humanity's place was measured in stone and star. This profound connection to the heavens finds a startling parallel in a desert land, where the next mystery is not built from stone but from the very earth itself. Just a short distance from the silent chambers of the hypogeum, the stones of Tarxian speak in a different language altogether. Here, the massive limestone blocks are not the plain walls of a tomb but a vibrant canvas, covered in an explosion of spiral motifs, intricate patterns, and detailed reliefs of animals. Constructed and elaborated upon over more than 1,000 years, these temples represent the pinnacle of Maltese megalithic artistry. The sheer scale of the stonework is humbling, with some of the lower foundation blocks weighing many tons, but it is the delicate, patient chiseling on their surfaces that truly astonishes. How did a culture with only stone and obsidian tools achieve such flowing, confident lines and such deep, precise carvings? The work of archaeologists like David Trump has revealed not just the temples themselves, but the very tools used to create them, stone borers and obsidian blades that hint at a society of specialized artisans. The temples were a living, evolving sacred space. Evidence points to their use for rituals that likely included ceremonial practices involving animals, with altars and libation holes suggesting a complex spiritual life. But the deepest mystery of Tarxian is not found in a single moment, but in its continuous transformation. Why did generation after generation return to this same site, not just maintaining it, but actively rebuilding it, making it more complex and more artistically elaborate with each passing century? This was not mere repair, it was a form of devotion, a dialogue with the ancestors carved directly into the rock. The alignments of the temples with the solstices show this was a place deeply connected to the cycles of nature, and the art itself may have been a language, a way to encode myths, chart lineages, or map the cosmos. The immense effort required to both move these colossal slabs and then to cover them with such time-consuming artistry speaks of a unified purpose, a shared belief so powerful it could command centuries of coordinated labor. The spiral carvings seemed to pull the viewer inward into a world where engineering and art were inseparable, a concept that finds its purest expression not in organic form, but in perfect geometry. High on a windswept plateau in southern Armenia, a field of gray stone stands against the sky. Zorat's Kera, often called Armenia's Stonehenge, is a sprawling complex of hundreds of basalt megaliths, some towering over 2 meters tall. Many of these ancient stones bear a unique and baffling feature, a perfectly drilled hole near their upper edge. These are not random punctures. Researcher Paris Hirouni dedicated years to studying these apertures, proposing a stunning theory that each hole was a precise astronomical sighting tube. He believed the entire arrangement was a sophisticated observatory, calibrated over 6,000 years ago to track specific stars, like those in the constellation Cygnus. Imagine a priest or astronomer of that distant era placing their eye to one of these cold, stone lenses, aligning it with a pinpoint of light in the vast, dark sky to mark the passing seasons with unerring accuracy. This celestial purpose, however, is part of an ongoing debate. Other archaeologists point to the presence of burial cists within the complex, suggesting it was primarily a necropolis, a city of the dead. Yet others see the strategic placement on the high plateau as indicative of a defensive fortress. The truth may be a blend of all three, a place where the living honored the departed, protected their territory, and communed with the heavens above. The engineering itself is a profound puzzle. How did these ancient people drill such clean, cylindrical holes through incredibly hard basalt using only stone and bone tools? The process would have required immense patience and a technique we can only partially guess at, perhaps involving a bow drill with sand and water as an abrasive. This combination of brute strength and delicate precision points to a society with a deep, codified understanding of their universe. The holes were not merely functional, they were a way to frame the cosmos, to bring the distant stars down to Earth and integrate their celestial cycles into the very fabric of daily life and spiritual belief. What cultural imperative drove them to encode this knowledge in stone? It speaks of a world view where humanity was not separate from the cosmos, but an active participant in its grand, orderly dance. The silent, perforated stones of Zorat's Kera challenge us to see ancient science not as primitive, but as a holistic pursuit, one that wove together the practical, the spiritual, and the celestial into a single, enduring monument. This high-altitude quest to map the stars finds a powerful echo in another mountain culture, where the stones were not drilled with holes but carved into the faces of gods. Beneath the lush, green slopes of a West Java hill lies a structure that may quietly dismantle our deepest assumptions about human history. Gunung Padang is not just a scattering of stones, it is a terraced megalithic complex, a pyramid-shaped hill that some researchers believe conceals a secret far older than anything we have yet encountered. At its surface, you find arranged columns of basaltic rock, forming walls, terraces, and enigmatic chambers that speak of a sophisticated building culture. But the true mystery is what lies beneath. Geophysicist Danny Hillman Natawajoja and his team have used ground-penetrating radar and other techniques to probe the hill's interior, and their data suggests these surface structures are merely the top layer of a much larger, deeply buried construction. They propose that the entire hill is a complex, multi-layered pyramid, with its deepest foundations potentially laid over 20,000 years ago. If this dating is correct, it would place Gunung Padang in an era we currently label as the peak of the last ice age, a time when human society was supposedly composed of small, nomadic bands of hunter-gatherers. How could such a people have engineered a colossal stone pyramid? The implications are staggering, suggesting a lost chapter of civilization, a sophisticated culture that flourished in prehistoric Indonesia and then vanished, leaving only this colossal footprint. Mainstream archaeology, however, urges caution. Many scholars point to carbon dating from the upper layers that aligns with a more recent, though still ancient, period of a few thousand years. They argue the subsurface anomalies could be natural geological formations like hardened lava flows rather than the work of human hands. This scientific debate is the heart of the mystery. How were these heavy basaltic columns, some weighing several tons, quarried and precisely positioned on such a steep slope? The engineering feat required to shape and move this stone, regardless of the ultimate date, is a testament to a forgotten mastery of the landscape. What profound belief or societal drive could compel a people to transform an entire mountain? Was it a spiritual center, an astronomical observatory aligned with the stars, or the seat of a powerful, forgotten kingdom? The controversy surrounding its age forces a profound question. Are we looking at the world's oldest pyramid, a relic of a civilization so ancient its memory has been completely erased from time? This single site, cloaked in jungle and scientific debate, holds the power to reshape our view of prehistoric Indonesia and the entire narrative of human achievement. It stands as a powerful, silent argument for a history far more complex and far older than we have ever dared to imagine, leading us directly to our 20th and final enigma. Our journey through the echoes of lost time brings us to a final, windswept plateau in Mpumalanga. Here, a ring of weathered stones known as Adam's calendar makes a claim so profound it challenges the very roots of our story. Some researchers, like Michael Tellinger, propose this is not merely an ancient site, but the oldest man-made structure on Earth, potentially over 75,000 years old. If true, this would place its creation at a time when modern humans were just beginning their great migration from Africa. The calendar itself is a masterpiece of simplicity and precision. Key standing stones are arranged to cast distinct shadows on a central monolith, marking the solstices and equinoxes with unwavering accuracy. This was a functional timepiece, a way to anchor a community to the essential cycles of the sun and seasons. The engineering required for this alignment reveals a deep, empirical knowledge of astronomy, a science we often assume developed much later. The stones themselves bear the marks of immense age, with erosion patterns that some geologists argue support an extreme antiquity, far beyond conventional archaeological timelines. This has led to a fascinating and heated debate. Could this be the work of a forgotten advanced civilization, one that possessed sophisticated knowledge before it was lost to the ages? Mainstream archaeology remains cautious, suggesting the formation could be a natural one, later modified by human hands in a more recent era. The controversy hinges on that very fine line between a natural rock arrangement and a deliberately calibrated observatory. Why would a society from such a deep and distant past invest in a permanent calendar? It speaks to a fundamental human need to understand our place in the cosmos, to predict the turning of the seasons for planting and harvesting, and to codify time itself into the landscape. This single, enigmatic stone circle in South Africa brings our global exploration to a close. From Turkey to Bolivia, from Malta to Japan, we have witnessed a recurring theme of impossible engineering and celestial wisdom. These 20 sites are not isolated anomalies, they are fragments of a larger, hidden narrative. They whisper of a shared human impulse to build, to align, and to seek meaning in stone and star. They ask us to reconsider the timeline of human ingenuity and to humbly acknowledge that the story of our past may be far richer and far more mysterious than we have ever been taught. These recurring patterns across continents and millennia are far too significant to be mere coincidence. A shared language of stone and sky seems to bind these sites together, from the solstice-aligned corridors of Newgrange to the celestial portholes of Zorat's Kera. A profound understanding of astronomy was not a unique discovery but a foundational pillar for cultures that never could have met. This points to one of two possibilities: either a common, deeply rooted human instinct to seek order in the heavens, or the faint, fragmented echoes of a shared, ancient knowledge that traveled with early human migrations. The precision of their engineering further deepens this mystery. How is it that builders in Bolivia and Egypt, separated by an ocean, both achieved stone joins of impossible tightness, or that cultures in Malta and Peru both mastered the art of moving 100-ton blocks? Experts like John Anthony West have long argued that sites like the Giza Plateau encode precise mathematical constants and a sophisticated understanding of the Earth itself, a lost science that modern research is only beginning to decipher. This suggests these were not just ceremonial centers but repositories of advanced knowledge. Yet the most humbling theme is the sheer power of community. Without cranes or software, these projects were realized through the coordinated effort of thousands, a testament to what human societies can achieve with a unified vision. They moved mountains not with machines but with shared purpose. This collective effort speaks to a cultural drive so powerful it could command generations of labor. What can these patterns teach us about resilience and creativity? They show us that technological limitation is no barrier to monumental achievement. The true engine of these wonders was not advanced machinery, but advanced thinking, a deep observation of the natural world, and an unshakable belief in something greater than the individual. These sites are a permanent reminder that human ingenuity, when fueled by shared purpose, can literally reshape the world. This synthesis of themes, from cosmic alignment to communal effort, deepens our appreciation for these stone puzzles and prepares us for the final, overarching questions they force us to ask. Our journey through these 20 lost worlds unspools a tapestry of human genius that shatters the simple timelines we once accepted. From the hunter-gatherer cathedral of Göbekli Tepe to the celestial calendar in South Africa, each site whispers a powerful lesson in perseverance, a deep connection to the cosmos, and a profound human need to build something that would outlast the generations. These were not primitive peoples, but sophisticated engineers and astronomers who understood their world with a clarity that still challenges our modern assumptions. Their legacy is a humbling reminder that the drive to create, to align with the heavens, and to encode knowledge in stone is a fundamental part of who we are. As we leave these silent stone sentinels behind, let the sense of wonder they inspire remain. May it fuel your own curiosity and encourage a deeper appreciation for the fragile, ancient treasures scattered across our planet. I would love to hear which of these enigmatic sites captured your imagination most powerfully, so please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are eager for more journeys into history's greatest mysteries, subscribe to continue exploring together. Thank you for joining this expedition into the deep past. May it inspire you to always look a little closer at the world and to see the echoes of forgotten brilliance that still surround